Enjoy the frickin' presentation! Early one morning, Gordon was flabbergasted. He had heard from word of mouth that Dilly the duck, who lived with the station master at Tidmouth Halt, had recently found her mate and later laid an egg. She had become a fan favorite among Donald and his crew, and everyone refers to her as Donald's duck. Gordon knew all about Dilly, but thought her beneath his dignity. Animals are all very well in their place, he would say loftily, but they don't help to run a railway. At least the passengers like her, remarked Oliver, and so do all the engines. Gordon was unamused. I can't speak for branch lines, of course, but we mainline engines have a responsibility to keep up. Sir Topham Hatt runs a railway, not a zoo. And with that, he puffed away. One cold day, Gordon had to visit Peel Awdry. He shivered as he waited for his goods train to be ready. He wished he could get moving and make himself warm again. Just as the conductor blew his whistle, Gordon thought he felt a sort of scrambling in his tender, but he was more concerned about the weather forecast to even notice. The next day, Gordon was taking a nap at Tidmouth Halt. Nearby was Old Slowcoach, from which the workmen had thrown out some scraps after their lunch, much to her dismay. A party of seagulls soon arrived and argued noisily over them. "Get lost!" ordered Gordon, but the seagulls took no notice. He was very cross. Why can't they let an engine rest in peace? Suddenly, something flew past the smoke box. There, standing in front of Gordon, was a young tuxedo cat. "Well, look what we have here," laughed his driver. "This little guy must have stowed away in your tender while we were at Peel Awdry yesterday," added his fireman. "I thought I saw something moving, but I was too busy to look properly." The cat was friendly. They called him Meowzilla and made a great fuss of him. Now he keeps the sheds free from little rodents such as mice and other similar creatures, and Sir Topham Hatt considered adopting him. Though Meowzilla has made friends with the other engines, he always goes to Gordon when he wants a rest. And despite what he said about zoos, Gordon is always glad to see his stowaway. The green engine was feeling grumpy. He was expressing concern over a special set of points located just outside the yard. These are known as trap points. The rails don't go anywhere in particular, but they're just long enough to derail anything running away, such as engines and rolling stock. It prevents them from colliding with other engines on the main line. They can be controlled from the nearby signal box when the engines need to join the main line on purpose. Henry could never understand why they were there. "Oh, useless things," he grumbled. "They can take them away as soon as they like." "Tch, run away indeed. Why would we want to run away from our nice warm shed? Tell me that." Neither Gordon nor James could, so they didn't bother to try. One night, Henry was alone in the shed. Gordon was not due back until early in the morning, and James had been delayed by the other railway. And Thomas and Percy were at the seaside, having celebrated Mrs. Kindly's daughter's wedding. It was a cold night, and Henry felt lonely. He was glad when the firelighter came earlier than usual. Henry felt warmth spread through his boiler, feeling drowsy and comfortable. Running away, he thought to himself. Who would be daft enough to do that on a cold morning like this? Suddenly he awoke. The firelighter climbed onto Henry's cab and thought it would be a good idea to drive an engine while no one was around. He unwound the brake and opened the regulator, but nothing happened. Disappointed, the firelighter left, but forgot to close the regulator. Henry dozed again. When he next awoke, he could see the sun rising. And then he realized what awoke him. "It's too early," Henry thought. "The driver hasn't come yet." And then it happened. Henry felt himself moving slowly forward. He tried to stop, but he couldn't. He tried to whistle, but he couldn't do that either. He just kept rolling along, out of the shed and past the turntable. "Help!" cried Henry. "I don't like this!" He didn't dare look at what was coming next. He could hear Gordon thundering along the line with the express. "Horse!" cried Henry as he looked ahead of him. There was nothing he could do. He braced himself for impact. Henry's front wheels left the rails and was clear of Gordon's coaches. With a hard rattle, the big blue engine thundered by. What just happened? Henry found that the trap points had saved him. "My God!" said Henry. "That was a near miss!" Henry was now feeling very grateful of the trap points. He had doubts about how they worked, But now that he saw them in action, he felt truly grateful for them and wished the trap points would save everybody else in future. "Thank you, trap points!" cried Henry. "You can stay there just as long as you like."